This is Subnautica, the first 10 minutes of gameplay, as Epic Games are preparing to make this available for free. So as you can see with the new game, you have 4 options. Survival mode, which is like the normal modes that I choose to play. You crash land on the alien planet, you've got to scavenge resources, and you manage your hunger and thirst. It's important to remember because hunger and thirst do play a big role in the survival mode. Freedom is more of a sandbox game. You can die, by being attacked by creatures, things like that, but you don't have to worry about hunger or thirst. Hardcore, as you can see, survival mode with only 1 life. There's no O2 alerts. A lot of this game is based on the water, as you can imagine, so oxygen plays a big role. And creative, actually, yeah, I would say the creative is more of a sandbox where there's absolutely no death. You just build and learn how to construct things. Anyway, let's jump into it. Now the load time is quite slow on this game, so using the magic of editing. And here we are, ready to play.
Attention. Hull failure imminent. All personnel abandon ship. Launch in 3, 2, 1.
Here we can see our protagonist just escaping in time in an escape pod. Right, about to get run. Darkness. Okay, first things first, let's get this fire out, guys. Gotta pick up that fire extinguisher. Right click, that'll set it off. Okay, immediate danger has been dealt with. That's the iPad 5000. Exactly the same as the current iPad. It's a bit more expensive.
This is considered an optimal outcome. This PDA has now rebooted in emergency mode with one directive: to keep you alive on an alien world. Please refer to the databank for detailed survival advice. Good luck.
But does it have Apple Play? Right, let's close that. Okay, so the fire's out. We are in our escape pod. There's 2 exits, through the top or through the bottom. Let's go through the top first. See what we can see.
The Aurora suffered orbital hull failure. Cause unknown. 0 human life signs detected.
So as you can see, I've just panned around a 360. There is absolutely nothing but sea. And our escape pod. Let's jump down. Radio, it's damaged, it needs a repair tool. We'll go back to that. Damaged secondary systems, again, repair tool is needed. Medical kit fabricator, we can open that up and we can take a first aid kit. Now, as soon as I picked it up, you can see this circle with a percentage in the middle. As soon as that hits 100, a new medikit will be presented. And here we have storage, which has some basic stuff in it. Flares, which light up the water at night. Pretty effective, actually. Some filtered water and nutrient blocks. So, down to the left of our screen, we can see we have O2. I'll come back to that in a second once we're in the water. There's our health, 81. Hunger, which is currently at 45, and thirst at 83. Last but not least, we have a fabricator. We can open that up. Everything's grayed out at the moment because we've got no sort of materials to construct. So you've got your resources, sustenance, personal items, and deployables. Let's just open up just to show you what's inside. Basic materials, electronics, water, as you can imagine, sustenance, personal stuff, equipment. See, it's just more sub-menus, equipment, things like your oxygen tanks, fins, fire extinguishers, etc. Tools. This is where some of the cool stuff comes into it. So you've got a scanner you can make, a repair tool, which we do need, flashlight, survival knife. I mean, all of these are very handy to have and will be needed to progress. Right, let's go on the bottom of the hatch. Okay, here we are in the underwater world of Subnautica. Let's have a quick look around us, see what's happening. There's our pod. And there on the bottom left you can see our O2 is going down. The number is seconds. That's how many seconds we've got left before we need to breathe. Metal salvage, always good to pick up. You can turn that into titanium, which is one of the most basic building blocks of the game.
Oxygen.
Okay, there's our 9-second warning. We need to get back to the surface to replenish our air tank. So that metal salvage I've picked up. Let's get in here, and what you can do, now you can see it's lit up because we have resources. Click on basic materials. And as you can see, the metal salvage can now be turned into 4 pieces of titanium. Now this is important to begin with, and I'll show you why in a second, once we've got our titanium. Now we go to personal, equipment, straight away we can get an O2 tank. So we're on 45 seconds now, we click on the standard O2 tank. Boom. Our underwater air supply has now gone up to 75 seconds. This will increase as you play the game. You'll unlock bigger tanks, better tanks. But to start off with, the very first thing you want to get is a bigger O2 tank because it really does make a big difference. Other things you need, I would suggest, is get the fins. I'll show you how to do that in a second. Tools, definitely you want to get the scanner. As you can see, we've got the titanium. We need to build a battery to complete the schematic. Repair tool and knife. Definitely those 3 items to start with are essential. So the survival knife, repair tool and a scanner. So silicone rubber and battery and cave sulfur. They're the main ingredients that we need. Battery can be found in electronics. Okay, so you saw me picking up those mushrooms earlier. You see I need to get some copper now, so let's start with the copper. Head back down into the water. Right, copper. Where do we find copper? Let's have a look. Aha, we'll break limestone. So let's do that. In this instance, we've got titanium, but limestone does contain either copper or titanium. These brain corals are good for replenishing your oxygen. Just stand above them and the air bubbles will fill your tank with air. Okay, here's some more limestone. Let's hit that. Okay, copper, great.
Copper is an essential component of all powered equipment. Your probability of survival has just increased to unlikely, but plausible.
If you're wondering how you get food in this game, well, look around you, there's fish everywhere, so just chase them.
Discovered.
And I'll show you what to do with the fish. You can go into your menu, and you can see we've picked up a peeper, and its attributes are food +12, H2O -7, edible prey fish, high calorie count. Thing to do though, the trick, to cook it, because you don't want to eat it raw. Now we've got the fish, we go to sustenance, cooked food, cooked peeper.
The fabricator cooks small organisms while disposing of the skeletal structure, bodily fluids, and internal organs, thus rendering them safe for human consumption.
She took the words right out of my mouth. So, we go to our inventory again. Now look at the attributes. Food 32, H2O5. Safe to eat, and we won't get dehydrated. So let's eat that. Keep your eye down here on the stats on the bottom left. Boom. That's our hunger sated for now. We also did pick up some copper. So Now we can build a battery.
New blueprint acquired.
And now that we've got the battery, we can come to equipment. Click on tools. And there. Now we can make a scanner.
The scanner can be used to synthesize blueprints from salvage technology and to record alien biological data.
Okay, so we've got a scanner. It's really cool. I mean, anything you can see, you can scan basically in this game. Right click, indigenous life forms. You can go to tab to look at more details. And this applies to everything you scan. You can come into the tab, go to your data bank. It's all split up into categories. I'm not going to go too in depth into the data bank because there's a lot of reading there. I just want to give you a quick overview of the first few minutes of the game. So scanner essential because you can scan all these materials, and you'll see that to learn certain blueprints you do need to scan scavenged items around the world. Okay, let's get back up and get some oxygen. And as you can see, the planet does have a day-night cycle. It's suddenly turning to dusk. I'm just trying to find an example of what you can use your scanner for to research items. There's parts of the Aurora shipwreck all over, which are very important. This is where you can find items. Ah, here we go. Sea glide fragments. Scan that. Top left of the screen. Overall progress 50%, 1 of 2. What that's telling me is that if I find one more fragment of sea glide, then we've learned the sea glide blueprint. Excuse me. Right, one other thing that we had on our materials list was rubber, so I'll show you where we can get that. As you can see, there's
30 seconds.
Yellow glowing items. They're actually plants that we can harvest. Let's grab some oxygen before we get there, so we don't drown. Drowning isn't the end of the game. It just basically means you lose a lot of items from your inventory. But other than that, it's not as harsh as you'd think it would be. Don't worry too much about drowning in the beginning of the game, because there's really not much, you know, that you've lost that you won't be able to retrieve in a few minutes of grinding. Okay, so creepvine. We want to grab these seed clusters. We'll grab a couple of those. Give it a scan. Scan everything, because it sometimes unlocks other items that you can build.
Life on this planet grows in unusually distinct and diverse ecological biomes. Further study recommended.
Okay. That blue icon is our heads-up display showing us that our life pod is currently 100 and something meters away. Let's get back
seconds.
there. Yeah, as you'll find out, the oxygen warnings, they do get annoying in the beginning, but like I said, once you get your tanks bigger and bigger, then it becomes less of an issue. Okay, I'm going to start wrapping this up. We'll get back to the ship, to the lifeboat, sorry. We'll build the knife, and I'll leave it there because this is one of those games where you just have to learn and dive in yourself, and it's just the joy of playing this game. The discovery, the danger, things do get a bit scary further down. Okay, basic materials, there we go. Silicon rubber ×2 give us what we need. Let's make a couple more. Okay, and you can also make a lubricant with the creepvine seeds, but we don't want to do that right now, so we're going to go to personal. Equipment. Fins, which make you swim faster, very handy.
The fabricator draws from available data to provide environment-appropriate equipment using locally available materials. For your safety, this setting cannot be overridden. Detecting increased local radiation levels. Trend is consistent with damage to the Aurora's drive core sustained during planet fall. Weapons were removed from standard survival blueprints following the massacre on
Okay, guys.
Praxis Prime. The knife remains the only exception.
Yes. Thanks for the interruption. Yeah, alright guys, like I said, play the game, it's free, it's awesome, you'll put so many hours into this game and you will enjoy every one of them. If you have any questions, just pop something in the comments, I'll be more than happy to help you. Peace out.